Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're throwing on our detective hats to tackle one of the most maddening mysteries out there, the 24-volt inverter low-voltage shutdown. Now, if you've ever had your system suddenly refuse to start, flash a warning, or just completely shut down the absolute second you connect a load, you know exactly how frustrating this can be. But hey, instead of blindly swapping out really expensive parts, we're going to dig into the hard science of what's actually happening inside your system. Okay, let's quickly run through our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. The shutdown problem, 2. Myths versus reality, 3. Uncovering hidden resistance, 4. The battery management system, 5. Diagnosing the true cause, and finally, 6. Crucial safety rules. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The shutdown problem, investigating the crime scene. So you're standing there in the dark, asking yourself, why did my 24-volt inverter just completely die on me? The second you plugged in a heavy load, it just gave up. It's super common to immediately assume that because the inverter went dead, the unit itself must be completely toast. Or maybe you're thinking your batteries are totally ruined. But hold on a second. In reality, there is a highly systematic reason behind this sudden power loss. Here's the thing. This shutdown, it's actually a vital protection mechanism. It's meant to save your gear, so it doesn't necessarily mean the inverter itself failed. Basically, your 24-volt inverter is constantly monitoring the DC input voltage coming from your battery bank. If that voltage drops below a certain program threshold, bam, the inverter hits the kill switch. It's literally doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's stopping an overly deep discharge that could permanently ruin your battery cells and totally tank their lifespan. Moving on to Section 2, Myths versus Reality, the false suspects. Before we lock up the real culprit, we need to clear the air on some overly simplified advice you see everywhere online. You know the type. People focusing purely on the error code, telling you your battery voltage is simply too low, so just replace the whole battery, or check the settings, or just assume the inverter is defective. While these guesses might hit the mark occasionally, they completely miss the root cause. Following this kind of flawed advice, that's going to result in hundreds of dollars down the drain, only for the exact same shutdown to happen again. Now, here is a massive game-changing distinction: idle voltage versus voltage under load. A battery might show a perfectly healthy 25.4 volts when it's just sitting there at rest, but it could completely collapse the very second a refrigerator actually kicks on. As an off-grid troubleshooter, you have to realize that idle voltage does not tell the whole story. You could probe your battery bank, see normal numbers, and think you're totally in the clear, but the moment of truth, that only happens when the current actually starts flowing. All right, Section 3, Uncovering Hidden Resistance, the real culprits. To crack this case, we need to lean into a bit of hard electrical science and find the hidden resistance that's basically stealing your voltage. Check out this relationship. Current demand directly affects voltage drop. For the exact same amount of power, a 12-volt system pulls an incredibly high amount of current. Step up to a 24-volt system and you cut that current in half. Step up to 48-volt, it's halved again. But listen, on a 24-volt system, you are still dealing with some really hefty current draws. And high current, that is exactly what magnifies tiny electrical hiccups into total system failures. To put that into perspective, let's use the DC power formula. A 2400-watt load on a 24-volt system, that requires a massive 100 amps of continuous DC current. 100 amps! That is a ton of electrical traffic trying to squeeze through your cables all at the very same time. And this brings us right to the absolute core of the issue: voltage drop. When you're pushing those kinds of high current levels, even the tiniest bit of resistance becomes a huge deal. We're talking undersized cables, a slightly loose terminal, or maybe just aging batteries. Any of these can create substantial voltage loss before the power even reaches the inverter. Higher current literally causes larger voltage losses through your connections. So your battery might be pumping out a healthy 25 volts, but thanks to some corroded cable lugs or super long cable run, the inverter might only be seeing, say, 21 volts. The inverter sees that massive drop, thinks the battery is dead, and triggers the shutdown to save itself. Section 4. The battery management system and startup surges. Now let's look at two specific, kind of stealthy accomplices in our mystery. If you're running modern lithium iron phosphate or LiFePO4 batteries, the battery management system, or BMS, adds a whole new layer to the puzzle. Your BMS might just completely disconnect the battery pack to protect against overcurrent, a single low voltage cell, low temperatures, or even cell imbalance. When that happens, the inverter instantly loses its DC supply and completely shuts down. Naturally, you might blame the inverter, but in reality, the BMS is just doing its job perfectly, stepping in to cut the power and protect the battery chemistry. And then we have startup surges. The initial power grab for things like air compressors, freezers, or well pumps can be literally 3 to 5 times higher than their normal running power. 3 to 5 times. This demands an instant, massive surge of current that can just completely collapse your voltage. Your inverter might be totally fine, completely capable of running the appliance once it's going, but it just can't handle that violent, split-second startup demand. So it triggers a low-voltage event before the appliance even gets a chance to spin up. Which brings us to Section 5, Diagnosing the True Cause, the forensic tools. Now that we know who the real suspects are, let's get you equipped to actually test your system like a pro. This sequential process is absolutely crucial, so put down the wrench and grab your multimeter. Step 1, check the voltage directly at the battery terminals while the system is totally idle. Step 2, check the voltage at the inverter's DC input terminals, also while idle. And step 3, this is the big one. Watch exactly what happens to those voltages the very second a heavy load kicks in. Here's what you're looking for. If you see a major discrepancy between those two readings under load, like say your battery voltage stays pretty stable, but the voltage at the inverter just tanks, boom, you've found your hidden resistance. That tells you your battery is fine, your inverter is fine, and the problem is literally sitting in the space right between them. You've got to meticulously check for loose hardware, heat damage, melted insulation, or double check that your cable gauge is actually thick enough for the massive current your inverter demands. Finally, Section 6, Crucial Safety Rules, Protecting the Detective. Before you go closing this case, we have to talk about some absolute non-negotiable safety rules for dealing with these high current systems. First off, never, under any circumstances, bypass your battery fuses, DC breakers, or BMS protection devices. Seriously, they are there to prevent fires, period. Next, if your inverter shuts down, stop repeatedly mashing the restart button. You're just severely stressing the unit. Oh, and if you touch a terminal and it feels hot, disconnect the power immediately. Finally, accidental short circuits from high fault currents can cause severe burns, arc flashes, and total equipment destruction. So please, always use insulated tools. As off-grid troubleshooters, our entire ethos boils down to one simple motto. Instead of guessing, we measure. Taking just a few minutes with a multimeter to check for voltage sag and cable drops can literally save you from tossing out perfectly good batteries or scrapping a perfectly fine 24-volt inverter. So, armed with this explainer and a solid, structured approach, it's time for you to test your setup. Grab that multimeter, safely measure your voltages under load, and figure out what's really going on. The big question is, what hidden resistance will your meter reveal about your system today? Thanks for hanging out with me to unravel this mystery. Stay safe out there and happy troubleshooting.